Islam, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Veda Makam. Man, we have a good one for you tonight. It is wonderful to be here. I thank everyone for tuning in. Shamalakai Bey and Abdullah El Telemosi Bey, yours truly. All right, we present to you to be or not to be the refugee, the 1951 Refugee Convention. We're going to begin with a 3-minute video audio clip. We're going to go into jurisdictional incompetence, points of analysis. Excerpt from Moorish Body Politic Formation Meeting, June 2nd, 2021. So this was a record. This is a 3-minute audio from that meeting, and we actually on the board we have we did the write up of the presentation, but the 3-minute clip is on the board. So we're going to analyze the points that you see on the board. All right, so we're going to play the 3-minute audio, and we're gonna analyze it in the context of jurisdictional incompetence, points of analysis.
I'm from Detroit, Michigan. One of my good dear brothers. He's been enlightening me on the information that you all provided, and so he should be listening too, because him and I we have healthy debates about this. So it's always to build at the end of the day. Then but he's kind of going against what I use. Is I use the Constitution. I don't use the treaties. I use the Constitution. I'm in Michigan. I use the Constitution. I get remedy. If I ever got locked up, habeas corpus, so you can moonwalk right out of court. I don't have to use a bond. My word is bond. If I had $100 million bond set, you can be released on your own recognizance. He told me, well, you don't use the Constitution because we're not a party to the Constitution. I said, well, I can use it as my benefit. That's just like, I haven't used a driver's license since 2015. It's not valid. I don't use it. I revoke it. I've been pulled over by 2 state troopers, no license, speeding, no insurance. They look at me like, God damn, nigga. I'm like, yeah, public servant. Now, I'm not rude and disrespectful. Do I respect the cop? Absolutely not. I don't respect the judge, but I won't be disrespectful. See, so when I got pulled over, I beat a traffic ticket in Ohio. I used the Michigan Constitution just to prove a point I could do with and it's no disrespectful to you all, but this is how I talk to my brother. And I'm like, I could do what the fuck I want, but you have to know who you are and who they are not, which is a corporate fiction. It's about contract. Because he was like, it's about jurisdiction. It ain't about no damn jurisdiction. It's about a contract. Do I got a valid contract with you right now? Show it. Show this material evidence. I'm in court. He said, you don't go in court. And I heard this a lot of times because I have family members that are Moorish too. I mean, we all are Moorish. We don't know that. I grew up in the nation. They know me like the back of their hand. Nobody has more structure than them. If only they knew about this nationality. Most of them don't know about that. I mean, a lot know, but when I beat my traffic tickets, I don't even get into nationality because I don't have to prove nothing to them. You had to claim it against me. My point is, I don't got a contract with you. Who are you? Matter of fact, who has a claim against me? I've been in court. I got a recorder on my phone, 36th District, Detroit, Michigan. Hell, they kicked me out of the courthouse. This is recorded on my phone. So when I go in there to make a point. That's the belly of the beast. When people say, we got our own courts. Yeah, I am the court. I use the common law, which is common sense. When I'm in court, they say, okay, state your name for the record. I got to do this bullshit and state my name a different way. My name is Akil from the Mixon family, hereby special appearance only to handle all affairs for the ends leagues. Don't nobody in court know what the hell I'm talking about. But that so-called judge, first thing the judge said was, oh, I got your interrogatories. I ain't even had to do interrogatories.
What is your question?
Basically, so when you say we can't use the Constitution, well, this is what my brother was telling me. My dear brother was telling me, I can't use the Constitution because I'm not a party to that. I beg to differ, and I'm just trying to get more information of where he's getting this information, saying you can't use the Constitution. When I used it and I got remedy.
All right. Yes. So we have on the screen, you see, we have the excerpts of some of the quotes. It is not about jurisdiction. It is about the contract. Statement made to the court. If I have a valid contract with you, show it as material evidence.
Stop right there. Now, Here's a man say I'm of Michigan. That's a ward, a refugee. So he acknowledging out of his mouth that he's a ward and refugee. That there's no mistake about that in law, not in your personal opinions or how you think or how you feel. Talking about positive law now. You're on the negative law side. I mean, you're being denied culture. The second thing is you claim you use the Constitution of the state of Michigan. Now, hear me out. The only one that can bring a claim to the Constitution of Michigan is a citizen of the provincial colonies that was handed down a charter by the crowns. The Dred Scott makes it clear that you don't have any African descent. Now, let me so we don't get mixed up. Well, I'm not African. Yes, you are. You're Moor. Africans are Moor. They're attacking the Moor. They're attacking the Moorish inheritance. They're attacking the Moor's consanguinity. So you made a statement about do you have a valid contract with you? Yes, you do have a valid contract with them. If you claim in the courtroom as a Moor under political allegiance, under national status, under nationality, under national status of a government in Morocco, yes, there is a contract called a treaty. If you're going to use the Constitution of Michigan and say, do I have a contract with you? They do have a contract with you. It's an applied contract and an express contract dating coming from your mother when she went into the hospital and put you in labor. She pushed you out in a foreign vessel without a country, claiming a country or a flag. So your mother is considered lost at sea and assumed to be a refugee. Therefore, all her goods are confiscated in custody. So they do have a contract, an applied and express contract. Because all your life when you grew up, you went to the government for everything. Not your government. You didn't go to no government in Morocco. You went to their government for the house get caught on fire. You call the police, call a fire engine. A bad thing happened, you call 911. You need a house to live in. You go into a political zone where the erection of a house is controlled by owned by the state of origin. So you see, there is a contract. So they just grant you grace and mercy, but not put you in jail. Let's go to the next one. All right. That's the material fact.
All right. So when I beat my traffic ticket, I don't get into nationality. I don't have to prove nothing to them.
Now, because I've been through this before, so I can speak. When you beat your traffic ticket, in order for that ticket to be thrown out, you will have to get a court's power to speak. So that means you are entered into a contract with the court by walking in there, by filing something, by addressing a judge or commissioner or peace officer or magistrate on a benefit of a right that you claim in a contract. So therefore, they got jurisdiction. So you went to them for a remedy as a what? Now, what status did you go to him as? You didn't go to him as a Moor because you said you don't use nationality or national status. So that means you went in either as a United States national, a resident, or a corporate, colorable citizen, or a refugee, which all of them fall under refugee, by the way. Now, let's address, I don't get into nationality. That means you don't have a country. You're not claiming to be a political allegiance to a country. That means you're a refugee, which we're going to talk about later. I don't have to prove nothing to them. You're absolutely right. You ain't got no business in there. The cops are supposed to be there. You ain't got to prove nothing. You ain't supposed to be trying to prove nothing. They don't have jurisdiction. So the very reason that you in there, that means you unconscious of what you're doing. Next.
All right. When I got pulled over by a state trooper in Ohio, I used the Michigan state constitution just to prove a point.
Now, let me explain what happened. What you did was gave the cop jurisdiction the moment you quote the constitution of that state. The cop is authorized and licensed to work as a code enforcement under a subdivision of the state, a child of the state, which is a creature of the law. The moment you say, I use the Michigan Constitution, you get a cop jurisdiction. You gave him jurisdiction. Because you're using something that your ancestors not even a party to. Your ancestors are a party to sign on Michigan Constitution. So why are you using the Michigan Constitution? Because you ain't got a damn political national status of allegiance to a country or your own state in Morocco. And the reason you didn't beat the ticket, the judge just ruled in your favor because he didn't want you to mess up his commercial activities, business. Let's go.
I use the Constitution, Michigan. I don't use treaties. I get remedy.
Okay. I use the Constitution of Michigan, meaning that you are telling Michigan that you have equal protection under the Constitution of the United States under the 14th Amendment. That's the only way you're going to get any rights to that. And that means now you will consider a ward, a refugee seeking a remedy from your master. You the servitude ward, refugee that's going into a foreign state without a country, asking them to give you a remedy. And I use the Constitution of Michigan as my benefit. That means you say it's benefiting you. That means they're your protector. Your allegiance is to them, your ward. Let's go.
Address the fact that he said, I don't use the treaties.
Okay. The reason why you don't use the treaties, because you're not claiming, even though you might not acknowledge yourself under Moor's consanguinity, blood pedigree, but you're not claiming a political allegiance status under a state or nation or ecclesiastical body that's in the domicile dominion of Morocco, the empire. And you're not using the treaties as your protection because you don't consider yourself a Moor under political status. Your Moor's political status is not tied to this flag right here. That's why you don't use the treaties. And you was not trained or taught the benefit of the treaty, the authority of the treaty, the delegated authority in the treaty to an officer. Just like you go in front of a judge because you've been trained that the judge have authority to adjudicate your matter. Well, a Moor under Moor's political status as a national know that a state, the head of state, council appointed by the head of state, or a judge, a mukti, judge, or the council has the exclusive jurisdiction over the judge, over the president, over the United States government and the state government. You don't know that. Let's go on.
All right. Hitting heated up here. I don't have a contract with you. Who are you? As a matter of fact, who has a claim against me?
You have, I went this earlier, you do have a contract with him. The moment your mother went aboard the vessel, that's a voyage. She went there for aid, for her protection. She went there for a service, an aid. Therefore, she pushed out her goods. Her child is her goods, her merchandise. It belongs to her. It's the property of your mother. Therefore, because the mother don't have a country or not protected on a country or flag, and her goods, which is her child, does not have a country or under flag. It's a Moor by blood pedigree, but there's no national status allegiance of a country that she's from, unprotected. So therefore, she's down as a refugee. The name she named you is the property, is the property of the state, because you're not considered as a person having a country. You lost at sea. So you do have a contract as a refugee, a ward of the state. That's why you use the Constitution. Wards of the state use the Constitution for protection.
All right. Let's continue right along here. A conscious Moor said to him, we have our own courts. His response, I use the common law,
I love this one.
which is common sense.
Let me explain something to you. You're not using common law. No, you're not. You're not using common law. Because if you use common law, that's Moorish culture, and you wouldn't be in that courtroom. You're not using common law. That means you're not using Moorish, ancient, civilized nations' culture. You're not using Moorish culture. See, British, when you hear the British common law, that's the Moorish law culture. That's the Moorish culture. That's embodied with jurisprudence, equity, the volume of decisions, judgments made of ancient covenants, statutes, decrees, epistles of ancient governments, which bring the value of equity, because the decisions and judgments are body in them, what you call, we call it jurisprudence. That's jurisprudence, culture. So common law is Moorish culture that they adopted to make themselves civilized, to be a government, to operate as a people on earth. Let's go.
All right. A conscious Moor said to him, you can't use the Constitution, Michigan Constitution. You are not a party to it. His response, how can you say I can't use the Michigan Constitution? I get remedy. So we addressed this earlier.
Now,
Go this in.
As a Moor of consanguinity, and a Moor claiming a national political status to a province or state or nation in Morocco. One like that cannot use the Constitution because it's under protection of that nation or state that's protected under this flag. Now, if you are a ward and don't know it, or a refugee, which is called United States national, a resident of the state, or a legal, or they call it a legal alien, or a stateless party, you can use that Constitution because what gives you the rights under that Constitution is the 14th Amendment. Next, which is a foreign franchise colony of the France, Great Britain, Sweden, Portuguese, German, all this. Let's go.